Good evening. I'd like to welcome everyone to the August 13th, 2024 Old Bridge Township Council meeting. Please rise for a Pledge of Allegiance, and please remain standing for a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. As is customary in this chamber, we stand for a moment to remember those who are protecting our freedoms, both here and abroad, for our first responders, for those who made the ultimate sacrifice, for everyone who is suffering around the world. And this evening, Mayor Walker would like to also acknowledge someone.
I would like a moment of silence for Frank Stefanelli. Frank was an employee of Old Bridge as a dispatcher. He started volunteering here in Old Bridge in 1998 as a member of Cheesequake First Aid Squad. He continued to serve with passion and compassion as a lifetime member of the Green and White First Aid Squad. His commitment to the town only grew stronger when he was hired here as a police dispatcher, where he served for 24 years and 6 months, guiding those in need with kindness and expertise. His tireless efforts didn't stop there. He joined the Old Bridge Township Office of Emergency Management in 2010, where he worked his way up to deputy coordinator, further solidifying his impact on our community. Frank was more than just a dispatcher or colleague. He was a loyal friend to many here in Town Hall and a trusted voice in times of crisis. His presence will be deeply missed, but his memory will continue to inspire his colleagues to serve with the same level of love, care, and devotion that he embodied every day. May Frank Stefanelli, Dispatcher 24, rest in peace. Moment of silence. Thank you.
Our prayer, Mr. Pasquini.
O Lord, bless thy servants in the ministry of public affairs who serve thee in this chamber. Give us quiet minds and hearts that we may hear your voice. Help us to know when to speak, when to be silent. Give us strength to oppose the wrong and uphold the right. Grant that we have a good conscience and a soul at peace with thee and with one another. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Please be seated.
Roll call. Councilman Asatuli?
Here.
Councilwoman DeCaro?
Here.
Councilman DePalma?
Here.
Councilman Desai?
Here.
Councilman Garcia?
Here.
Councilman Murphy is absent. Councilman Pasquini?
Here.
Council Vice President Dr. Greenberg Belli? Here. Council President Sohar?
Here.
This meeting is being held in conformance with the Open Public Meetings Act. Notice has been given to the official newspapers of the Township on January 6, 2024, has been posted in public places. Next open public meeting of the Township Council will be held on Tuesday, September 10, 2024 at 7:30 p.m.
Thank you very much, everyone. Welcome to the meeting, and we'll begin this evening with proclamations, presentations, the mayor's 5K check donation to Old Bridge High School Junior ROTC. Good evening, Mayor.
Good evening. We had the mayor's 5K health and wellness run back in April, and it was a rainy, cold April day, but it was very well attended. And first, I'd like to begin by thanking David Hernandez, who worked tirelessly to have this event the success it was. I would also like to thank our township employee, Rosemary Rivoli. Rosemary dedicated many, many hours, off hours, to help us with this event and make it successful, as well as our many sponsors that helped sponsor the event. Also, our Parks and Recreation Department, our Public Works Department, our Police Department, and all the many, many volunteers who helped. It was very successful, and it was the race for hometown heroes. So tonight, that enables us to be able to give back to our community, and tonight, I would like to recognize our junior ROCT with a check donation. But first, I'd like to begin, I was at the ball for the ROTC this year, and I heard that they had reduced funding. They didn't have enough money, and some of the parents were saying they were going to have to pay for things. So I had that in mind when we got the final numbers, and I found out that we would be able to donate. So I first thought of the ROTC. So I'd like to call forward Colonel Doolittle, and I see he's here with a bunch of members of the ROTC, and they don't know that tonight we're presenting them with a check for $6,000.
All right.
Please come forward. We're really hoping that this is going to help you in need.
Congratulations, what a wonderful thing.
Okay, so first off, I want to thank you very much, Mayor and members of the committee, Township, that this donation is incredibly generous, way more than anything we were expecting, and we will certainly put it to good use. And just to toot their horn a little bit, community service is the way that the ROTC programs judge the success of these local programs and how each individual group is doing. Our guys here have won what's called the Silver Star Community Service with Excellence Award, which is the highest award that the ROTC can give to a unit, and it goes to the top 5% of all the units nationally, so that's the top 45 out of 900 units, and these guys have won that award 4 years in a row. So again, on behalf of the Corps, I want to thank you very, very much.
We want to thank you for all that you do. They're always there for our community at all our events, for the presentation of the colors, and they're always there for us, and we want to give back to you. Thank you so much.
Very nice, congratulations. Okay. Ready? Okay. Next will be an introduction of our new police officers, Christopher Schwartz and Tyler Mochnick.
Hello, everyone. My name is Tom Montagna. I'm the Chief of Police here at Old Bridge PD. Tonight, I, along with Mayor Walker, have the privilege of introducing you to the Old Bridge Police Department's 2 new police officers. Christopher Schwartz and Tyler Mochnick. Christopher and Tyler took their oaths of office on August 6, 2024. And I'll read a small bio in reference to both officers. Christopher Schwartz, badge number 302. Christopher previously served as a sheriff's officer with the the Ocean County Sheriff's Department, and as a special law enforcement officer, Class 1 and Class 2 with the Seaside Heights Police Department. Christopher holds an associate's degree in Homeland Security from Ocean County Community College. Tyler Mochnick, badge number 303. Tyler received his basic police training certification from the Ocean County Police Academy. He served as a special law enforcement officer, Class 1 and Class 2 with the Seaside Heights Police Department. Tyler holds a Bachelor's of Arts degree in criminal justice from Rutgers University. Please join me in wishing Christopher Schwartz and Tyler Mochnick much success as they begin their law enforcement career with the Old Bridge Police Department. Yeah, the funny thing is I started in Seaside in 1991. So that's how old I am, and I actually went to Ocean County Police Academy in 1992. So my name's on the wall for the physical fitness award, but that's why these guys started where I started, so it's great to have them here.
I'd like to welcome Tyler and Christopher to Aldridge Police Department. We're continuing to grow our police department. We have a wonderful police department here in town, and with Chief Montaga is getting better.
Okay, very nice. Thank you, Chief. That was a very nice introduction, and congratulations from all the council. We wish you only the best. Thank you so much. You have a great evening. Okay. Next, we have another presentation. Mayor Walker.
Yes, tonight we're very proud to have two students here that happen to be the children of one of our employees. We have Zoe. I'm going to read a little about them. Zoe and Demetra, I'm going to chop up your name, Milanopoulos, did I do okay? Moved to Greece at 6 months old and resided there until 2012. At the age of 7, once back in the United States, they discovered softball. To start, it was just recreational, but their fondness grew, which led them to play competitively. They speak highly of Old Bridge High School for the impact it had on their journey and for helping them achieve their dreams. The twins are now focused on the 2028 Olympics, where they aspire to compete for the Greek team. They are currently preparing for the upcoming qualifying tournaments and many World Cups. We are so proud of them both and wish them the best of luck on their exciting, incredible achievement. I'd like to read one of the plaques. They're identical with just different names on them. In recognition of your great achievements in softball and for your upcoming participation in the 2028 Olympics, congratulations. Old Bridge is proud of you. 2024. Please come up.
Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you.
Do you guys hold these? They're going to say a few words.
Let them know where you're heading to college.
Yeah, tell them all about, you know.
So I'm Zoe, and this is my twin Demetra.
Demetra.
Okay. And I want to start off by saying thank you guys like so much. This is such an honor. But I've said it once, I've said it to everybody I've met, and I'll say it again, that Old Bridge, coming back to Old Bridge, was the best decision we've ever made.
Let's go!
I wanted to say a couple thanks to some important people that really helped us through our journey. We have Dr. Sasso, amazing principal at Old Bridge High School. We have our athletic director, Mr. Domino. He believed in us. So did our coaches, Coach Angela D'Amico and Joe D'Amico. Both of them have really helped us, and the fact that they were able to believe in us really helped us find our love for the game again. But, you want to say something?
Thank you so much. We'll take some pictures.
Yes, of course. Yeah, okay. We'll actually put you.
Well, congratulations, ladies. What a wonderful honor. And thank you for sharing it with us. We really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Okay. Yeah, it is Old Bridge Proud, correct. Okay. Next, we get into a little more serious note. We'll be discussing the 2023 municipal audit. Good evening. No Olympics for you guys? No? Okay. Come on up. Okay. Oh, there she is, Olympic Dawn. Hello. Good evening. LA. LA. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Very nice.
Don't worry, they'll clean it up.
Okay. Thank you, ladies. Have a good night, everyone. Thank you. Bye now. Thanks so much. Okay, good evening. Mr. Allison, our Olympic auditor. Okay.
We go.
We
Thank
go.
you. We completed our audit at the end of June. And once again, good, I guess, boring news is that we had a clean opinion, a very good opinion on the basic financial statements, which is the best opinion you can get. It's unqualified. And we also have a clean opinion on the audits of specific grants, which the state and federal government require. That those specific grants this year was the coronavirus recovery funds from the federal government. And do we have we had a state audit this year. No state audit this year. So, but that was a large grant, and we needed to really look into that, and everything came up clean there. As far as the result of finances, again, I'm happy to report that you're in strong shape. Your surplus or fund balance grew. You're up about maybe 24% of your budget. That will make you look very strong in the eyes of the rating agencies. They like to see that around that percent, and it's just very strong. It's up probably a couple of percent from the prior year. So you continue to do a very good job as far as the stewardship of the taxpayer monies. And there were no formal comments or recommendations. And is there anything else you think? Dawn did a great job.
Thank you for all your help too, Bob.
Do you have any questions?
Yeah, I'm going to say on my left, does any council person have a question for Mr. Allison? No? All right. Anyone on our right have a question? Okay, so obviously everyone is very pleased, and thank you for all that you do as well, and for this team that really is really following
It's a good
the
team.
right
We work
path.
together all year long. It's not just
You and the
one side.
ladies here, I mean, this is a,
It's not a hit and run audit. We come in and we advise all year long.
yeah,
It's good.
yeah, no, you follow a very good path,
We
so.
have a great track record since
Yep.
we've been doing this, you know.
Yeah,
Well,
so
thank
we're
you.
very pleased.
I just want to thank
Yeah, no,
Dawn
Mayor,
and
what is
Vicki
your-
for
yeah,
all the work that
exactly.
they do all year, because the budget is a year-long cycle. It's not
Yeah.
just 1 month like we think. And I want to thank Anna. She stepped in for Hamachu.
Mm-hmm.
She's doing a fantastic job. And I want to also thank former Mayor Henry and Hamachu put us on the right footing, and we're going to continue to do that and continue to
good
keep
plan.
the town financially stable.
Yep, it's a very good plan, so thank you all.
And I
really
wanna thank
very
Bob
much.
also.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Bob. Okay, and everybody's good? All right, well, thank you so much, and you have a nice evening. Thank you so much. Okay. Approval of minutes, resolution approving the regular combined meetings of January 1st, 2024, February 6th, 2024, April 9th, 2024, May 14th, 2024, June 11th, 2024, June 25th, 2024, and July 9th, 2024. Do I have a motion?
Second.
Okay, moved by Dr. Greenberg Belli, second by Mr. Desai. Yes, Mr. Desai.
Roll call. Councilman Asatuli?
Yes.
Councilwoman DeCaro? Yes. Councilman DePalma?
Yes.
Councilman Desai?
Yes.
Councilman Garcia?
Yes.
Councilman Pasquini?
Yes.
Council Vice President Dr. Greenberg Belli?
Yes.
Council President Sohar?
Yes, and it shows how the year goes by, boy. Next is the bill list. Mr. Garcia, please.
Yes, thank you.
Bill list as of August 13, 2024. Accounts payable, August 13, 2024, $18,801,218.27. Payroll, July 19, 2024, $1,297,022.53. Payroll overtime, July 19, 2024, $32,892.87. Payroll, August 2nd, 2024, $1,374,925.49. Payroll overtime, August 2nd, 2024, $34,796.68. That completes my report. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And can we have a breakdown of the overtime, please, Anna? Sure. Thank you.
There were no major upticks in our payroll overtime for July 19, 2024. Police sworn police overtime was $20,115.99. Deduct grants, $3,673.31. Deduct ETO, $8,068.11 for a total of $8,374.57 and a total of 147 hours. The August 2nd, 2024 payroll also did not have any major upticks in its overtime. The sworn police overtime was $22,018.69. Deduct grants, $3,077.47. Deduct ETO, $6,155.45 for a total of $12,785.77 and a total of 183 and a half hours. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Do I have a motion?
Move it.
Okay, moved by Mr. De Palma, second by Mr. Asatuli.
Roll call. Councilman Asatuli.
Yes.
Councilwoman DeCaro.
Yes.
Councilman De Palma.
Yes.
Councilman Desai.
Yes.
Councilman Garcia.
Yes.
Councilman Pasquini.
Yes.
Council Vice President Dr. Greenberg Belli. Yes. And Council President Sohar.
Yes. Okay, I'm going to change this up a little bit, the agenda. I'm going to put the discussion ordinance down, and this way we can move forward with the balance of the agenda. I'd like to do the ordinance for first reading, FR1, an ordinance of the Township of Old Bridge, amending Chapter 250 of the Code of the Township of Old Bridge, entitled Old Bridge Township Land Development Ordinance, by amending various sections of the same. Do I have a motion?
Move it.
Okay, moved by Dr. Greenberg Belli, second by Mr. Asatuli.
Roll call. Councilman Asatuli.
Yes.
Councilwoman DeCaro.
Yes.
Councilman De Palma.
Yes.
Councilman Desai.
Yes.
Councilman Garcia.
Yes.
Councilman Pasquini.
Yes.
Council Vice President Dr. Greenberg Belli.
Yes.
Council President Sohar.
Yes.
Second reading and public hearing set for September 10th, 2024.
Okay, thank you. All right, next will be consent agenda. I'd like to get a motion and a second, and then I will ask for separations. Do I have a motion?
Second.
Okay. Separation, moved by Dr. Greenberg Belli, second by Mr. Pasquini.
Any items for separation? Councilman Asatuli.
No, thank you.
Councilwoman DeCaro, any items for separation?
No, thank you.
Councilman De Palma, any items for separation?
Just C25.
C25. Councilman Desai?
No, thank you.
Councilman Garcia?
I have none, thank you.
Councilman Pasquini?
No separations, thank you.
Council Vice President Dr. Greenberg Belli?
Yes, C24.
And Council President Sohar.
I have none, thank you. Okay, so we'll take a vote on the balance without C24, C25.
Councilman Asatuli?
Yes.
Councilwoman DeCaro?
Yes.
Councilman De Palma?
Yes.
Councilman Desai?
Yes.
Councilman Garcia?
Yes.
Councilman Pasquini?
Yes.
Council Vice President Dr. Greenberg Belli?
Yes.
Council President Sohar?
Yes.
8 yeses.
Okay, next will be C24, Dr. Greenberg Belli.
Yes, this litigation settlement to the Raritan Bay Slag Super Fund site down at the beach in Lawrence Harbor. It's very frustrating when we get to this point, this many years later, and the town is held for $8 million when we did not cause the problem. There is a responsibility, obviously, it's our property, but I think the responsibility really should go to the federal government because the Army Corps of Engineers gave permission for them to put this lead there, to encapsulate, to put this lead here. So it's very frustrating this many years later that if it was remediated X amount of years ago, nearly 40 years ago, the cost, you can imagine, would be much smaller. And now this is such a burden on the Township of Old Bridge, and I certainly hope that the federal government will revisit this so the taxpayers are not responsible for this. But we need to get it done. It's been going on for a long time, the litigation, so I understand it, but it's just mind-boggling. Thank you.
Thank you. Do I have a motion? Or anyone else, would you like to
Just,
speak?
yeah, just on that resolution. Well, it's a not-to-exceed amount, so I'm very confident we won't be hitting that number, the $8 million number. So it wasn't, in talking to our bond counsel, we just did that for safety purposes, but I'm 99.9% certain that it won't be at 8 million. It'll be less than that and what we had discussed, closer to what we had discussed previously. We just wanted to, for this purposes, establish it, right? Yep. Yeah, no, I agree, but just so we know, correct, I agree with that.
It's difficult, but it's a decision that has to be made. I don't think any one of us really feels comfortable, in the sense of that we had responsibility. But unfortunately, after much, deliberation, there really is very little we can do other than what we've done. I mean, I think you've done a very good job, Mr. Roselli, trying to get us the best possible scenario, and it's never easy. So something that we really have to finish. We can't continue on like this, correct?
I agree. One of the things that the town was facing was, potential liability of, because of the environmental laws, it gets complicated. Yeah. You're looking at a potential $100 million liability.
It's scary.
So given what has gone on the last couple of years and being able to get reimbursement, and we're still working to try to get more reimbursement from some of our carriers, the number is drastically less than that. As I said, it's going to be between the $6 and $8 million number, and it won't be $8 million. I know that for certain.
I think the town has done its due diligence, has really tried to get the best out of a really bad situation. It's not something that was taken lightly or done in haste. We really have traveled every avenue and tried to get any help we could get. So it was something that was done very, very meticulously. So thank you for that, for all your, looking through everything. And, well, like you said, we really have no choice, Anita, but it has to be done. Okay, so do I have a motion? Motion. Okay, motion by Mr. Asatuli, second, Mr. DePalma had second. Okay,
Roll call. Councilman Asatuli?
Yes.
Councilwoman DeCaro? Yes. Councilman DePalma?
Yes.
Councilman Desai?
Yes.
Councilman Garcia?
Yes.
Councilman Pasquity?
Yes.
Council Vice President Dr. Greenberg Belli?
Yes.
Council President Sohar?
yes.
8
Yep.
yeses.
Okay, thank you. Next will be C-25, Mr. DePalma.
Just one quick question.
Yeah, sure.
The money, what is it exactly for? Is it for 911 or something different?
So it's for quite a few items in the police department, and I do have Lieutenant Doctors who's here who can give you a little bit more of a breakdown. But this was something that we submitted requests for funding last year to the federal government to upgrade all of our police technology. In March of 9th of 24, we found out that the grant was awarded. So we've been working over the last few months in finalizing the details of the grants, and we have been notified that the grant is officially ours. So, Lieutenant?
Well, that's good news. I mean, it's nice for you to let us know exactly how this is going to, roll out.
So, yeah, we put this together. We had the 911 PSAP grant a couple months ago, so that's something separate. Okay. This is all the technology grants. We're getting new mobile data terminals for the cars, new in-car cameras for the cars. We're updating the Emergency Operations Center, which is upstairs, where we meet for the budget
Yeah.
and everything, that room. So that's 15 years in the making to revamp that room. There's a ton of, basically what it says, technology issues, portable radios, car radios, all stuff that we desperately need, with the growing force. So that's basically everything that's encompassed. But we had to break it down to the last penny on what we plan on using the grant for.
Okay.
Again, it's great that we were able to have these grants and apply for them and be able to be successful, because it really does help in this time when money is really, that's a nice amount of money, over $1 million. That's a,
Yeah, it's going to help us out great. The only thing they wanted us using it for was drones, which was disappointing. couldn't buy drones with a technology grant, but we'll find another way. So.
yeah, but in the meantime, that is a positive, Eric. Yep,
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. You make a motion?
Yep, I'll move it.
Okay. Okay, moved by Mr. DePalma and second by Dr. Greenberg Belli. Thank you,
call.
Mr. Doc.
Councilman Asatuli?
Yes.
Councilwoman DeCaro?
Yes.
Councilman DePalma?
Yes.
Councilman Desai?
Yes.
Councilman Garcia?
Yes.
Councilman Pasquity?
Yes.
Council Vice President Dr. Greenberg Belli?
Yes.
Council President Sohar?
Yes.
8 yeses.
That's a very good one. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to do the administrative report, and then we'll go back to the discussion items. Okay. Good evening, Anna.
Hello again.
Hello.
So our 2024 annual curb replacement program has begun. On Wednesday, June 31st, 2024 at 1 p.m., bids were received, open, and read in public for the 2024 annual curb replacement program, contract number 2024-46. Bids from 13 contractors were received, with Lancia Construction Corporation being the lowest qualified bidder. The project will include ADA sidewalk improvements, installation of new drainage systems, sump pump connections, curb replacement on Rittner Lane, Mercer Road, and Bentley Avenue. The award of this contract has been included on tonight's consent agenda, and work is anticipated to begin late this summer. Senior Police Academy. The Oak Ridge Police Department will host a free Senior Police Academy. Applicants must be age 65 or older and be a resident of Oak Ridge. The classes will be held every Wednesday in September at 9 a.m. for about 2 to 3 hours per class. Attendees will learn about popular scams that target seniors, traffic stops, fire safety, first aid, and will attend K-9 demonstrations, drone demonstrations, and a tour of the Middlesex County Police Training Center. Limited spots are available, and for more information and to sign up, please contact Oak Ridge PD Community Police Detective D'Onofrio at 732-721-5600, extension 3170. Parks and Recreation. Vendor applications for Oak Ridge Day are now on our website. It is scheduled for Saturday, September 21st from 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. For more information and to download an application, please visit oakridge.com/recreation or call 732-721-5600, extension 4999. And just one more addition to our report this evening. We are inviting everyone to come out to National Night Out tomorrow night. It was rescheduled from last week's rain week that we had. So it will be held in the complex here from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. And we hope, it looks like it's going to be a beautiful night. Come out, bring the kids, and we'll have a great evening. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Does anyone have any questions for Anna? No? Okay, then I will take a motion to accept.
Second.
Moved by Dr. Greenberg Belli, second by Mr. Pasquity.
Roll call. Councilman Asatuli?
Yes.
Councilwoman DeCaro?
Yes.
Councilman DePalma?
Yes.
Councilman Desai?
Yes.
Councilman Garcia?
Yes.
Councilman Pasquity?
Yes.
Council Vice President Dr. Greenberg Belli?
Yes.
Council President Sohar?
Yes.
8 yeses.
Okay, is there a report of the township clerk?
No.
Report of the township attorney?
Yeah, Madam President, just, I want to bring up another favorite topic for governing bodies. We are approaching our next round of affordable housing requirements. So I've been talking with Vina about it, and what we'll probably do is maybe in a meeting in September, certain things that we're going to have to start hitting, but I know we should be already starting working behind the scenes. But the way, as you know, they adopted a new law. The law's changed the way it used to do it. Now what's going to happen is that come late October, probably November, the state's going to come out with each municipality's number.
Right.
And then the town has the opportunity to complete its review, come up with its housing element fair share plan, and to come up with the number it believes it is, and that eventually by next year, early next year, a resolution will have to be adopted by council. I think it's the end of January, that basically states, what the number is and how the town's going to accomplish it. And then I believe by mid 2025, ultimately have our plan in place.
Right.
But I just want to put that on your radar, because aside from all the other stuff Vina's been working on, this is going to be another item that's
Well, this is a
be
big one.
significant, correct?
Yeah, that's a big undertaking.
It's right, it's changed, and the issue always is, again, we've talked about this, when they come up and they determine the number.
Exactly.
Deal. So I just want to put that on your radar, so that stuff will be
Very
rolling out
important.
for council.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, you good? All right, so what we're going to do now, we'll go back and we'll have the discussion item that I held off on. Discussion ordinance, an ordinance amending Chapter 273 of the Township Code entitled Lunch Wagons Mobile.
Thank you, Council President. So we're revisiting our mobile lunch wagons ordinance to make some changes to streamline some of the requirements to have food trucks within the township. So some of the major changes that we made was the 350-foot radius for notification purposes. So it used to be 500, and it was from the property line of wherever the complex was. Now it will be 350 feet from the location of the food truck. So it tightens up the area so that some places have issues where it falls into some residential behind large complexes. So we wanted to try and tighten it up a little bit. We also took away, the ordinance used to be read as you needed to send a letter to all the property owners and get a positive consent that it was okay for this food truck to be within 500 feet of their location. Now we just have where we have to notice any residential, and that if there are any food vendors within that 350 feet, that they would have to get positive consent from any food establishments within that 350-foot radius. That was the major changes. If anybody has any questions, Mark and I would both be willing to answer any questions you have.
Okay, so I don't know if anybody has, yes, go ahead.
So just to clarify, as far as being close to residential, I was a little unclear with that. We're allowing it to be closer to residential, or is it, can you explain that a little bit more? Because we went from 500 to 350, so I want to make sure that we're not getting closer to residential.
Right, we went from 500 to 350 because it used to be from the entire property perimeter. Now it's 350 from the location of the truck. So Mark, help me out here, so.
So the difficulty, or I guess the issue that was presenting for some of these lunch food wagons is that, and typically everyone's more familiar with the 200-foot list, right? So that when you go to planning board, zoning board applications, you generate 200-foot lists. Well, it's a program that municipalities have, and this is one of the difficulties, though. And I talked about the radius situation. The program works. It measures from the property line, right? So you have a site, and here's a property line. So that what would happen is they would generate a list of all the property owners within 500 feet of the property line. So it could be an extensive list. Now, let's say you happen to be on Route 9, and the establishment where you want to place your truck is in a retail establishment, but there's a housing development next to it. that would be 500. Now, it's a business on Route 9, but because the housing development's within 500 feet of the property line, then the person who wants to run the truck would have to notify all those owners in that development. So most of whom, they wouldn't even know the truck's there. I think that's the thought. It's sort of an onerous undertaking for them to do that. And then a lot of the times is that they would send the notice out, but they wouldn't get a response back because it required them to be affirmative statement for all the people that they sent saying, hey, I don't object. And I think that the thought was to, okay, let's while we're going to provide notice but the individuals who are most concerned, for instance, if you're in because it applies to private property, there happens to be another food establishment in the area where they are, well, now you have brick and mortar versus the food truck. So there's competition. So naturally, you want the property owner has to give you written consent, and then any food establishment who would be within that 300-foot radius of where the truck is located would have to be consent. Hard part is having a program, measuring that 300-foot radius. Well, I mean, somebody could have a plan, say this is where my truck is, it's geometry, do a 300-foot radius, you can figure it out on a map, but we don't, and we're when I say we, the township is the one that generates the list for notice. We don't have the technology currently to devise that list, right? Because it doesn't measure it from a spot, it's measuring it from the property lines. So we'd have to come up, and that was one of the discussions I had with Kate, and had talked about it before. That's just technology. It may exist, but we don't have it. So that's one of the things that we deal about. So that was the thought, I believe, by trying to capture the people most impacted, which would ideally be those businesses who would be in competition on site, rather than, like I said, if there's a residential neighborhood that happens to be within 500 foot of the property line, who most times wouldn't even see it, not being able to get their written consent. That's right.
Is that why this kind of got revisited, because the food trucks were having trouble getting responses and things? Is that why
Yeah,
this-
so I mean, Kate can answer that, but that was one of the things, right? Because for planning board, all you have to do is send a notice out. You don't have to get, as long as you mailed it, it's good. But the way it was affirmative consent by everyone you sent notice to. So now the affirmative consent was changed to still the property owner, and then anyone who's within any food establishment within that 300-foot radius from where the location of the truck is would also have to. Okay, now there's also other conditions in there that we added. I mean, while you still have to get the approval, one of the concerns you have with these mobile food trucks, a lot of times if they're trying to go into a development or a site that already has site plan approval, sometimes those areas already may have a parking variance. So typically, most of them probably don't take up more than 2 parking spaces, but they could, because maybe they have, I don't know, they have signs or whatever they have near it. So you don't. They shouldn't be placed on areas that already receive the parking variance, because the parking's already compromised and you don't want to create additional issues. So there's language in the ordinance that says that that if a site already received a parking variance, then they wouldn't be able to go on that particular site because of the fact that someone already asked for it. So you have to. There's a lot of balancing acts that you have to deal with. Relative, it's and I explained to Kate that I think the important thing to remember is that it's a privilege to issue this. It's like a driver's license, or used to be what driver's licenses, right? When they didn't start giving them out to everybody, but hey, that's another story. It's a privilege to get a driver's license, right? So it's a privilege to have a food license, because most towns don't allow. So therefore, to the extent that somebody wants to have the privilege to have a food truck in your town, then you need to look at it and say, hey, all right, fine, you'll be here, but you need to meet these requirements. And I think that was the idea, to try to balance all those different interests.
Okay.
left, Mr. DePalma.
And I'm actually the one that asked to put this up on, for discussion. I think this came up in 2020 or 2021, and it kind of got lost, and I was looking back at some of our ordinance that we needed to revisit. This was one of them. And it was overly burdensome on the individual. All it needed was one person not to consent, one person to be a snowbird, right? I mean, let's just say, for instance, you were in one of the senior communities and there were snowbirds and you were trying to put it into a development. That would go to their home. They would never consent because they may not get it for 2 or 3 months, right? Or by the time they would have gotten it to their second home, it was too late. So what I wanted to do was to look at this and, we need to be business friendly. We need to draw the businesses that want to come here. We need to draw up and make sure it's done in the right way. Make sure that folks understand what's going on, not just have one individual not answer or one individual say, I don't want it, and then you could have 1,000 people say yes, one person say no. How is that fair for a business, right? We don't have those restrictions on a brick and mortar. For someone to say, I don't want that restaurant, we shouldn't have it for here. I know a few of my close friends have owned restaurants in the past. Some of them own restaurants out of state. And they've told me, like, this is where a lot of higher end chefs are going. So they're not just saying, I only want brick and mortar. They want to bring these because they could do a lot more, I don't want to say fancier stuff, but they could do things in a way that they can't necessarily do it in a restaurant, right? And it's also good for upstarts. People who want to become chefs, they have a family recipe, they have it. We had the empanada truck in town. We have a couple other things that we've had in town. Those folks get their start at some of these smaller venues, right? Going to a fair, going to Old Bridge Day, whatever that might be. And then, hey, people love it, great. They want to go into, let's say, Fairway Plaza on Route 9, where the old ShopRite was. Our current ordinance, the way that it's written, 500 feet from the back of Fairway Plaza goes to McDivitt. So, I mean, that's a giant circle, and then it goes across Route 9. Right? How's that fair to not only the business owner that's trying to bring a food truck, but what about the landlord who wants to bring that in to supplement maybe some of, the money they're losing because that plaza isn't full, because maybe they have a lease agreement coming up with somebody. So I just thought that we needed to start to look at this, and I thought this was an easy get right now because we weren't substantially changing a lot, but really just make it a little bit more friendly, not only for the business owners, but also the landlords too.
Anyone on my right? Mr. Pasquetti?
Yes. Eric, thank you very much for bringing that forth, because it was a few years back we had this discussion, and I'm really happy that everybody worked on this ordinance, because it did need to be adjusted, and the 350-foot sounds more reasonable. I know a lot of people in Old Bridge love the food trucks. They offer a different variety. They're fast. You don't have to go in and sit down in a restaurant. It's a different environment. So I'm really glad that we're making an effort to make it more attractive for folks to come in with food trucks, because it's been too restrictive.
Okay, anyone else on my right? Dr. Greenberg?
Yeah, you could always look at things from both ends. So, it's attractive, as far as, like you say, for a startup, someone starting there for a food truck. But you always worry about the brick and mortar, whether it's going to take away any business from them. So my question is also in, say, like one of the shopping centers, say like one food truck goes there, can you have more than one food truck at a time?
I think based off of how everything is written, you have to abide by parking regulations, the zoning and stuff like that. So if theoretically you put one food truck and that causes it to, take 2, 3, 4, 5 spots away, and now they don't meet the parking requirements, then you can only have that single food truck, right? And plus in here, you have it written where the other food establishments have to okay it. It's not, so you are allowing, first right of refusal for those businesses as well. And my thought was, there are a number of places where I might go to get something from a food truck, and there's other restaurants there, but my kids don't necessarily eat what I eat. It's hot, spicy foods. They're not going to eat that. They'd laugh at me. But if you're in another place where there's a pizzeria or another establishment, at least then there's options for me to get something or my wife to get something, and then for my children to get something as well, or whoever else is with us.
And I don't think people realize that these food trucks also are under health inspections also. So I want to make that clear for everyone.
Anyone else? Mayor, did you have anything you wanted to add?
No, I don't have any. Yeah, I mean, originally we thought it was 200 feet, which was not good. We were originally told that, and we were like, no, that's too close. But the 350, I understand the restriction of the property line, because like, I know one of the vendors, it was Gateway, which is a very big piece of property. So if you go 500 feet from the property line, you're pretty far, and then you're across the highway on the other side. So that is restricted. But the one thing I do like about this is that the other food establishments, brick and mortar, do have to say yes. That was very important, because if they didn't say yes, because it's not fair, because they pay taxes, you know. Also something we were thinking of considering, maybe have a location like the ShopRite, where maybe the food trucks could all go one location like that.
Like a food court.
Yeah. A mobile food court, like you said, yes.
And Anna, do you want to add something? Sure.
Just one more thing. I know Councilperson DeCaro brought this up before. The ordinance does state that no lunch wagons or food trucks are permitted in any residential zoning district. So at least that's
Right? Okay. All right, anybody else? No? Okay, I guess we'll just close by saying it is a balance, and we're trying to do, you know, what we think is best for everyone in the situation. So hopefully this is, again, a work in progress. Thank you for bringing it up, Mr. De Palma. And I think that's how we have to look at things. As things change, we have to work with it and try to, you know, make it a good thing for everyone. Okay, so do you want to make a motion to?
The one thing, I know normally we move this, we have these discussions, move it to first reading. I know this is something that we may want our planner to look at. So instead of moving it to first reading today, could we have, Dina, would you be able to take a look at it and we could have it for first reading for the next council meeting on the 10th? I know we typically do that, but I'd much rather you or Nicole possibly could take a look and maybe even just a quick chat with the zoning officials, make sure what we did. I think I know things, but I don't know all of the zoning, right? I know the stuff from planning, but not all from zoning. I just want to make sure that, you know, even though Mark looked at it,
you said that.
you all are okay as well.
Very good. Okay, so motion to,
Well, I think.
we're going to leave it at no.
We leave it at this. The discussion was a positive discussion.
Perfect.
And all I would ask
So-
is that on the September 10th meeting, we have
Yeah,
it for first
put it on
reading
for the 10th.
after our planner had a chance to review.
Yep. Okay, that makes good sense. I'm glad you, thank you. Okay, everyone's good with that, correct?
President, actually, I'm thinking you probably should take a motion
Right, that's,
for next time.
right,
I make a
List it
motion.
For first reading.
yeah.
Second it.
Okay. So a motion by Dr. Greenberg Belli, a second by Mr. De Palma.
Roll call. Councilman Asatuli?
Yes.
Councilwoman DeCaro?
Yes.
Councilman De Palma?
Yes.
Councilman Desai?
Yes.
Councilman Garcia?
Yes.
Councilman Pasquitti?
Yes.
Kathy?
Council Vice President Dr. Greenberg Belli?
Yes.
Council President Sohar?
Yes.
8 yeses.
Okay. I'm gonna separate all of them. God, I need a timeout chair. All right, now, next.
We're going up public comment.
Next is public comment.
The public comment portion of our meeting is to allow the public to bring to the council's attention their concerns or comments. This section is open for any topic or items in the consent agenda. In accordance with NJSA 10:4-12A and the Old Bridge Rules of Council, the council asks the public to limit their comments to 3 minutes or less. Only one member of the public shall approach to speak to council at a time. The council will respect the public's time by refraining from any comment until the speaker is finished with their allotted time. It should be further noted that the public comment portion of our meeting is not structured as a question and answer session. If a member of the public has questions they seek answers to, an appointment can be made with the corresponding department's office during regular business hours. Township clerk will regulate the time during the comment portion of our meeting. As you approach the microphone, please state whether you are a resident of Old Bridge, no names and/or addresses.
Okay, thank you very much. Is there anyone in the public who wishes to be heard this evening? Good evening, come forward, please.
Evening, ladies and gentlemen. How are you today?
Good.
I know you said no names, but I will say my name is Michael. I am a resident here. I'm a proud resident here of Old Bridge. My family lives here. My children go to school here. I myself have been through heartache since I'm here, and I refuse to leave. So you kind of stuck with me. I am a veteran of this country and very happy to see everything that's going on. You have the two officers. I come to you tonight, and Mr. DePalma, I hope you don't mind if I quote you just quick, not bad. I love how you said this is a business-friendly town, and we're looking to review older ordinances. One ordinance I want to have considered to possibly review was Ordinance 2021-15. That specifically speaks to make it easier, dispensaries and medical marijuana and recreational use here in Old Bridge. I know this was put into effect in '21. I am looking to possibly bring it, being myself a business person and trying to understand how things work. I see the benefit, but I also want to see how people's opinions and views may differ from mine so I can see them. And I want to see where we're on the same page as well. I've reached out to some of you on this council. I've reached out to the chief. I've spoken with quite a few of you. Some of you haven't had that ability. Some of you have flat out told me they can't meet with me because they have no interest in hearing anything I have to say. My only ask is that I get to sit down, have conversations, understand from both sides, both points, and make it clear that some things that are perceived are not always what they are. Things have changed, not just in the last 30, 40 years. Things have significantly changed in this world in the last 2, 3 years. I think taking a second look and having a conversation from a different view is the best that we can do to progress forward. I appreciate your time. Thank you very much.
Have a great evening. You. Okay, is there anyone else in the audience? Good evening.
Good evening. Thank you for giving us an opportunity to speak. I come to the council meeting to request the council launch an investigation of unacceptable conduct of one of your appointments.
No, I'm going to stop. So it's been brought up multiple times.
Excuse
right?
me.
No, not excuse me. It's been brought up multiple times. Council, you've made your voice heard. We're at the zoning board. It's about one of the individuals. We all know who it's about. You've directed to them. They decided that member remains on the zoning.
Can I just finish what I understand?
But the only reason that the concern is, and there's a warning, is that some of the statements, while the township cannot represent individuals in libel actions or slander actions, certainly an individual can. And to the extent that there are things that are alleged that I've heard over the last couple of weeks about this individual, I don't know if they're true or not.
Well, you could see the video. It's on the police.
Stop. But there are recourses that anybody, you could take, the other individual could take, right? So
Okay.
So again, you've brought it forth before, multiple times. Council, obviously, the individual still on the zoning board, so unless there's something new.
Yes. First of all, can I interrupt you? The council president actually has to stop me. No disrespect. Hold on. Wait. Can I just? I know. No. I understand that, and I appreciate that. I understand. I don't want to do a repartee. What I do want to ask you is that Mr. Sullivan from the zoning board said that the council actually had to take this up. What I'm asking you to do is to have a public commentary time, or private, I don't really care, where you bring in the people who were assaulted,
So again.
Allegedly assaulted. How's that? Allegedly. Do you like the word allegedly better?
No. So no. It is better, but no, they're not going to do it because that's not what it's about. If in fact someone was allegedly assaulted, there's recourse. It's not for that type of action. It's not this board. The only thing this board does is appoint members.
Actually, what I was told by Mr. Sullivan, who's the chairman of the other board,
understand that. So
and his lawyer,
So again, to the extent
that you have to do it. I mean, the board. When I say you.
I wasn't there. Well, I don't know what he said, but I do know what this board does. The board appoints members to the zoning board. What you're talking about has nothing to do with the appointment.
Okay, then I have another request. We'll go on. I'll go on. I have another request. Back a couple years ago, and no, you could start again, that's okay. Back a couple years ago, there were several members of the council, some here still and some not here, who were brought up on ethics charges and were asked to take training, on sensitivity training. What I would like you to do.
So again.
Hold on.
No. You made a statement. I've been here for a while, and I don't know when you say they've been brought up on ethics charges. To my recollection, the ethics committee has never
made a recommendation
Has
that
not-
people take the course. I read their recommendation. It's public.
It had nothing to do with ethics charges.
You're right. I apologize. Misuse of language, but this is the point.
It had nothing. It had nothing to do with ethics. No. But see the problem. Here's the problem. The problem is that you make a statement, and most people don't know what where you're coming from. So facts are important.
Do you want me to rehash the whole part?
No, you don't, because it has nothing to do with ethics. It had to do with they unilaterally brought something forward that they weren't asked to do, and it wasn't a charge that was filed against any individual.
Okay.
That's the
Sir,
back. That's what happened.
Sir, what I am asking this board to do, and I don't think it's out of reach of this board, is to consider training, ethics training, sensitivity training, DEI training, which I'm sure that every single person on this board can attest makes your lives better, because most of the people on this board work in a professional position and they have to take these courses. So while I'm asking you, because you don't want me to bring up everything about the individual, to consider that the entire community of people who are appointed take the training. I don't think it's such a bad thing to take the training.
At all boards, when you're appointed to a board, they required to have training because the state requires it. And I believe part of that training deals with ethics as well, right? So that is part of it.
Would you look into it for me?
I know that for a fact.
Okay.
But to the extent that occurs, it does occur, and they're required to do it. So that is addressed.
Really?
Ethics training is part of.
Okay, so if I Oprah it, I can find every single name from every single person on every single board in this town has signed a document having taken that training.
It's training they should have, it's training for the board, the zoning board and the planning board.
So
when you're appointed member, you're required to undergo training.
The training includes what? Do you have a syllabus?
I do not have a syllabus, but they review the placement on the board, and part of that training, because I've given, is to include, as a member, there's ethical considerations when you're in conflict, when you shouldn't vote, when you should recuse yourself, because that's an important part of any board member, whether it's here, planning board, or zoning board.
So you're really trying to push the threshold up, right? Is that what you're asking us to do?
I'm not asking you to do anything. I'm just stating what's supposed to happen and what the state requirements are.
Okay. Well, listen, thank you very much for your time. Besides the get out, the night, what is it? The National Night Out, which is super fantastic. On Saturday morning, there's an Indian Day, a celebration in the morning at 10 o'clock at the right here on the township grounds, which I hope everybody's going to be in attendance for. It's a super day. Having grown up in South India, by the way, for those who don't know, I think it's a fabulous opportunity to meet people in our community that you may otherwise have not met and enjoy great food and great time. 10 o'clock on Saturday morning. Thank you very much.
Is there anyone else that wishes to be heard? Good evening.
Good evening. I'm here to correct misinformation, misrepresentation about a former retired New York Police Department Sergeant Patricia Testaverde, who was being...
So you shouldn't name names.
I only named it because the lady that I'm talking about mentioned this lady's name, so that's why I mention it. I'll mention it once, then I won't, okay?
Thank you.
who's being viciously attacked by one Nina Joknowitz. She mentioned Patricia Testaverde before. All complaints against former retired Police Sergeant Pat Testaverde were exonerated, unsubstantiated, and unfounded. You casually forgot to mention that in your rant about her. Retired Sergeant is a decorated law enforcement officer with many awards and citations for her outstanding work as an NYPD officer. You didn't mention that. Pat was a 9/11 first responder. Your problem with retired NYPD Sergeant is that she represents everything you can't use to push your agenda of using name-calling for those who do not abide by your demands. Pat is an openly gay woman, a practicing Catholic, a law enforcement officer who was not a DEI hire, nor received promotions as a DEI. She does not consider herself a victim of her lifestyle. Pat is a bright, intelligent, diligent member of the Old Bridge Zoning Board who has never shown a bias toward anyone. You and your posse are the biased, name-calling crew who label anyone who does not buy into your agenda. You call people racist, transphobic, homophobic, anti-this, anti-that, because you maliciously feed on division for your agenda. You know nothing about who are members of other people's families. You planted flags without permission, and when they were removed,
So again, right, the whole idea is, as I said, right, everyone just calm down. Right. Right. So let's, again, you can disagree with what's stated about the member. So again, it's not about making it personal about people. That's the problem. Not to make it personal. I understand what you're trying to say. You're trying to speak on that person's behalf. And trying to clarify the record from that perspective. Right?
also to mention things that people in the public do not know.
So
There were 3 members of this board, before they were presently the mayor, the council president, and the vice chair, who were harassed coming into and leaving the meetings.
Right.
Their cars were surrounded. They had to park in safe places because of harassment.
Right, I get that. So I think the important part is, again, as I said, to the extent that those types of things occurred, there's processes for that, and I think the individuals in this council would know that, right? You can file police reports, you can file complaints with the police department. That's the process to be followed.
Well,
right?
I'm tired of listening to this woman go to every
So-
single
so-
meeting and
right,
have
so-
things, if they don't go her way,
So-
then you are name
So again, I
called.
understand that, so that's right. That's why tonight, when it's going that direction, there is no name calling. We get it. I know you're going to clarify the record. There's no reason. This council appointed the individual. That individual's still in the zoning board. I think that's all you need to know, right? And I
Yes.
understand what you're trying to do. To the extent that they wanted, there's things that however they receive it, what they do, I think that's the bottom line, is that the member still sits on the zoning board, individual's still there, right? So the issue is not coming up here. The comments have to do with government business, and it really gets you to a position where people are, pointing fingers at other people. I understand the need to clarify record, because, right, somebody can say anything. I don't know if it's true or not, right? I don't know. Many people don't know. That's why I caution people, when you make statements, someone else, and I know it's, lawsuits are expensive, but they're not protected. I mean, somebody could sue somebody for libel, for slander, things like that, right? Town won't do it, but those individuals have those rights. So that's what we have to be cognizant of. This is not going to be a situation where you get up, she gets up. It's not going to happen. I don't know whether people come now, they're listening. It's not going to happen. It's done. That issue's done, right? We're moving forward.
Thank you for your time. I appreciate it. And I think a food court would be wonderful for trucks.
There's actually a developer who's talked to us about that.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good evening. Is there anyone else? Okay, good evening.
Hello, Council. Can you hear me? Okay. My name's Kathy. I'm an Old Bridge resident. This past Sunday, I had my neighbor had a medical emergency. She came to my house. She's okay. It definitely was an emergency. The police were there within 2 minutes, ambulance within 5, paramedics within 7 or 8. It was great. Thank you, all the volunteers.
We're very proud. Thank you, Kathy. Thank you very much. Is there anyone else who wishes to be heard? Seeing no hands, I will close the public portion. And now, closed.
Council.
Next will be council member comments.
Councilman Asatuli.
I do. There's a difference between a disagreement and disrespect. When you disagree, and I can disagree with my colleagues, and that's okay. But when we disrespect someone, we don't talk. A couple of weeks ago, I was leaving this meeting, and I was stopped outside. And as I was walking, there was people outside that wanted to talk with me. No problem. Nina Jankowski, as I was walking, she put her hands on me, which was not cool, and I told her that. You can talk, we can speak, but it is not cool to ever put your hand on anyone for that matter. And she knows, I told her don't do that. And then we proceeded to have an hour conversation with everybody, which was very productive, and I enjoyed it immensely. But in this environment, no one has the right, ever, to put their hands on anyone. There's such division. It just hurts my soul to see the hatred that's going on just in this country, in towns. And then after we proceeded to talk, and we had a great conversation. And I was thankful for it, and I was even asked to go for a cup of coffee so we can further have a good conversation. But we can't get to a point when someone puts their hand on someone else. That is totally uncalled for, no matter who you are. Not cool. And I said it, and she knows it, and then we were cool. I'll leave it right there. She knows exactly what I'm saying. My first 8 months up here have been, on a positive note, have been fantastic. I'm working alongside of my colleagues, and honestly, I've learned a lot, and I want to thank all of you for mentoring me over the last 8 months. You know, people get into politics and they say, you know, it's about, you know, pocket picking and who's making money and who's doing certain things, but I have to tell you, my experience has been nothing short of amazing. They care about the people, and they put people first. A lot of times you may have a good conscience and get into politics and think some people don't, but I believe up here we totally do. And it makes me feel good to work alongside you, because I believe that when people get involved, they have a good conscience and they don't see good things and they give up. But I truly believe that Old Bridge is worth fighting for. And I want to thank the engineering department, Public Works, Finance, the mayor, everybody on here. I've asked for things quickly for the residents. Casey calls me back in 2 minutes. Fred, engineering, back in 1 second. And I need something, done. The residents called, done. This is the party of GSD. We get stuff done. And I'm thankful and blessed to be part of it. And hopefully, I continue to do good things alongside all of you in the future to come. Thank you all, because for us, it's all about you. Thank you.
Councilwoman DeCaro.
Thank you, Kate. First and foremost, I just want to express my deepest condolences to the family of Frank Stefanelli. I didn't know him personally, but I knew his face and I knew his name. And I have heard, you know, what a wonderful human being he was. He was way too young, and my heart goes out to his family. So I just wanted to say that first of all. I also wanted to say congratulations to our girls, the girls Zoe and Dimitri. I'm going to screw up their name, Milanopoulos. You know, I'm thrilled that they came from Greece and they came here to Old Bridge, and they are thrilled with our Old Bridge schools and how wonderful our schools are to, to embrace them. And, she gave a shout out to Dr. Sasso, who is really one of a kind. He's one of the best principals, and he really can relate to our kids. So I wanted to just congratulate them on such a great job, and I can't wait to see them in the Olympics, hopefully. With regard to what was going on here, I'd just like to say, first of all, Michael, I don't know if you reached out to me. I don't know if I missed an email. I didn't hear from you at all, so I apologize if you did and I didn't respond. So by all means, reach out to me. I'm always available for discussion. I will never tell you that, I don't want to talk about something. I very much always hearing one side, both sides, hear both sides of a situation and then make a decision. So I would be glad to speak with you. No problem. I don't know enough about either side of that debate to have any decision or have any comment on it right now. As far as what just went on here, I'm just a little disappointed. Names were mentioned, and, we have this whole thing, Daniel's Law, and we don't let anybody come up and say names, and we even had a council member say someone's name, and that just was not right. And, we purposely have this Daniel's Law for a reason. And, I don't know why that was okay, that someone's name was mentioned. Mark, I don't understand.
So time out.
Well, can I just finish?
Yeah, but Daniel's Law doesn't apply globally. It only applies to a class of people that if you're former police officer, judge, now they extended it.
Well, what class of people? Well, then it doesn't apply to anyone that comes up here to speak.
No.
It shouldn't apply to anyone then.
Here's
Because that's what I thought. I thought it only applied to elected officials and things like that.
the problem. The reason why you do that is because you have to have minutes. And if you post minutes, and then let's say at some point that they have a family member who becomes a police officer, it extends to their family. Now you have to go back, find all the minutes, redact those individuals' names. So it creates the issue for the clerk. That's a nightmare. So in order to avoid that to occur, that's the reason why we don't have individuals come forward to give their name, just resident and non-resident, because of the onus that comes with respect to the Daniel Law if it applies to an individual. That's the reason, because otherwise you're not going to post minutes. There was an issue that when this first came out, we had to go back and pull minutes because there may have been individuals that applied to. You have to go back through years and years and years of minutes in order to decipher them.
All right. I'm still disappointed that a name was mentioned. It shouldn't have been from an elected official. It should not have been. That's all I'm saying. You can
Councilwoman
disagree with
Zucchero,
me.
When I do the minutes, I do not put even if the name is mentioned, I do not put anybody's name in.
I appreciate that, Kate. Yeah, I appreciate
Nobody's
that.
name
I
goes
just
in the
think it was
minutes.
wrong, and it shouldn't have been. Last month, that same councilman said wonderful things about how he went out into the parking lot and met with everybody, and you talked about how you went out to have coffee, and they offered, and, now all of a sudden today, you have a different story. So, I don't know, which is it? That's all. I think we should allow, and personally, I think when somebody comes up to speak, and I believe this, you should let them speak for their 3 minutes and then speak to what they said. I don't understand how there's interruptions and there's back and forth and there's stop the timer, start the timer. We shouldn't be doing that. We should just let the people speak for 3 minutes and then correct the record if you need to correct the record. For both speakers, I think people should speak, let them speak for 3 minutes, regardless of what they say, and then correct the record afterwards. But otherwise, it goes on and on and on and on and back and forth and back and forth. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Councilman De Palma?
Thank you. Again, I think like everyone up here, our condolences to Stefanelli family. he was a volunteer, a dispatcher, a loved one, family man. So, our condolences. 47 years old, 48 years old is way, way too young. 46 years old. Oh, that's either way, right? Way too young to lose anybody, especially someone who is active, with our volunteers, our OEM. I know a lot of people in town have been pretty bummed about this, so our hearts go out to all of you. Congratulations to our new officers. Welcome and stay safe. As you go through the academy and you get on the streets, please stay safe, and thank you for your service to our township. One of the things I did want to mention, Anna did bring this up in her administrative report, the Senior Police Academy. I'm encouraging our seniors to sign up. I know my children were bummed that they couldn't go because we were on vacation the week that they had the Junior Police Academy. And I know a few people that went, it was a great time. I'm sure our seniors will love it as well. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's every Wednesday in September. So please reach out, look on our Old Bridge PD social media site. Our township site as well has all the information if you need it. And then finally, I hope everyone enjoyed this summer. I know we're getting to that time of year where it's the dreaded back to school for our children. The next time we meet, those children and all of our children will be back in school. So I hope that everyone enjoys the rest of their summer, as well as get off to a great start of the school year. Thank you all, and have a safe and happy Labor Day weekend.
Councilman Desai.
Thank you. As I have said in past 2-3 meetings, Happy Independence, 78th Independence Day to India. Indian community of great town of Old Bridge has celebrated from 30+ years when Mayor Cannon was in her second term by raising the flag of India, the largest democracy. Population is 1.2 billion. And we were raising that flag 30 years now. Even this year, when I asked and applied for permit, etc., it was approved. And all of a sudden, administration said, no, we cannot allow you to raise the flag on the pole, 3 poles outside. I was keep talking to them that there is a large population in this town. And we are a peaceful people. And I think I represent not only South Indian community, but South Indian Pakistani, South Indian Sri Lankan, South Asian Bangladeshi. We should respect each and every minority, either it is white, black, Hispanic, or any other from Eastern country. I still, after talking to mayor, council president, and our attorney, who is always like, no, you cannot do it. He never wants to talk clearly and understand my position or anybody's position. And he flatly says that some other group are asking for the permission of flying their flag. And we could not allow them, and they are threatening us to sue. Possible, but this is 30-year grandfather cause. And how can you disrespect the largest democracy in the world? See, US is the oldest, but as I said, India is the largest democracy, population 1.2 billion people. And in this town itself, I'm not sure exact number, but there are more than 6,000 Asian Indians living in this township. So it's this, and we already announced as soon as we were given permit, we announce to our community and member that this is the date we are going to do, and we have fixed date. Every time, Saturday after August 15, we do this event. And many towns, Piscataway, Edison, Woodbridge, Union, all other towns, including Marlborough, many towns is doing. Our attorney told me some town cancelled due to this controversy. I understand. But the solution which I arrived with mayor with the help of Matt at the recreation department, we ordered the what you call mobile pole. And I checked with Matt today, I came to the recreation, and it doesn't seems to me it's appropriate because you need somebody to help raise the flag. Thanks, Matt, for your willingness to come Saturday morning and help us out. But see, the beauty is to pull the thread and bring the flag up. Now, as usual, every year, mayor does the flag raising. Now, mayor will stand there with folded hand, and Matt or I have to just raise the pole up and up. I please request to the mayor, our attorney and council to please allow us to do at least this year. And next year, as I told to mayor, that we will find the alternate venue, maybe at a Lawrence Harbor area, where we can raise the flag. So one more time, I invite all of the residents of Old Bridge to be attend the India Independence Day celebration by raising the flag of great nation, old civilization. Please come and enjoy with us and have a light lunch. All council member has already received the email invitation. So please do come. Staff also is invited. Thank you. I do not want to say too much because I'm not happy person. Because after 30 years, under both administration, Republican and Democrat, the community was recognized for the contribution this community made to this great land of free. So, one more time, please join us Saturday, whatever abbreviated function we will have. I assure you, at least food will be delicious and enjoyable. Thanks. Thank you, everyone.
Councilman Garcia.
Yes, thank you. I as well want to offer my condolences to Frank Stefanelli and his family. I didn't know him as well, but like everybody says, he was a young man, and it's so unfortunate. So my condolences to Frank and his family. And the two new officers, them as well. I'm hoping they have a long, lengthy career, 25 years plus, and hopefully they make it out safe. So congratulations to our new officers. And I'll see you guys tomorrow night, National Night Out, 6 o'clock, 4 o'clock? 6 o'clock. So I'll see you guys tomorrow night. Thank you.
Councilman Pasquini.
No comments, thank you.
Council Vice President, Dr. Greenberg Belli.
Yes, I would like to start out by saying Old Bridge has many positive activities and events going on at all times. First of all, I would like to thank Chief Montanga and the Old Bridge Township Police for having the Youth Police Academy. It was an honor to be at their graduation and observe everything the program had to offer to expose the kids to. They seemed very excited, and it was very informative. It was also nice of Mr. Nasty to invite us to the Y to see the programs that they have for kids, because it is so critical for kids to learn how to swim. It's tragic when you hear about some unfortunate accidents, so it's very important. And also the Elks, they had their 25th anniversary miracle run, and I just always like to thank the Elks for all they do for the community. I've been getting many calls about the tax increase now that tax bills have gone out, based on the Board of Ed, with the 9.9 increase. We collect it, we get yelled at for it, but we didn't do it. So we need these people to go to I've referred them, if they ask about it, to go to the Board of Ed meetings. Please call the administration building, 732-290-3976, or 732-290-3952. Now, it's unfortunate that we do have to speak about this, but I find it amusing that people can come up here and say other people's names, but when their name is said, they go bananas. So I just had to say that for this back and forth here. I find it amusing, actually. But really, I do have to go over this because this has been going on all the time. You can go back at different meetings all the time. There's always accusations about this board, and you don't know. If you don't go to event, you don't know whether they're on a vacation or a funeral. You make this presumption that they don't like the thing. That's not true. And you don't know anything about our personal lives, so stop commenting on it. But the thing that I want to say, I'm a very tolerant person, but it has gotten to the point I can no longer be silent while hearing this outrageous, caustic rhetoric spewed from this individual, not saying names, I can say initials, and Jay, okay? I've listened to her demonize people and spread falsehoods long enough. She makes false accusations, disparage individuals, as she's an agitator and an instigator, causing public alarm. This conduct and behavior and lies does not serve any positive, productive purpose. This is character assassination, spreading falsehood comments with the sole purpose to incite people. The words and lies are offensive. When you get less votes in a general election for Senate than many students receive for student council, it speaks volumes. Insulting volunteers and board members with false allegations is nothing more than dangerous and being malicious and setting yourself up for a lawsuit. In my opinion, also, the posts and crazy statements is not productive. Also, these posts in the past about this pasta was ridiculous. You never told the entire story and equated it to having bulk pickup. Obviously, if there's 500 pounds of pasta in someone's house, there's a problem. And yet, you don't put that, and it has nothing to do with bulk pickup. Once notified, the township had it cleaned up in 1.5 hours. I find this amusing when you received a citation for putting garbage in neighbors' garbage bins themselves. Also, if you look at the Middlesex County Board of Election, they've received complaints about this individual based on their activities at polling locations. On a personal note, in January 2021, after a council meeting, I met with the mayor in his office afterwards to discuss something for approximately 30 minutes. Afterwards, I was walking to my vehicle. I was accosted and being yelled at. "Where's your mask? Move to Florida," and surrounded my vehicle. So I asked, why were you in a municipal parking lot approximately 30 minutes after the meeting ended? On a cold January night, is it normal to tailgate in the municipal parking lot? Were you stalking me? These are the questions that I had to be asked in that time. So I urge you, stop making false statements. I am tired of this narrative, and I wanted to set the record straight. Please, everyone, be safe and enjoy the rest of your summer, and let's have peace. Thank you.
Council President Soha.
Yes, I also want to naturally congratulate the new police officers. We were very dedicated to making sure that we hire as many officers as we can. The town is growing, and we would like to make sure that safety is an absolute priority. So I'm very happy to see 2 new police officers. Also, there were some retirees. I believe Addie Spinola retired. Good luck to her. Congratulations, and a job well done, Addie. We'll miss you. Also, the ROTC, again, a great organization, and those children really do deserve our support. There's so many things that went on. There was the Elks, as Dr. Greenberg said, the Miracle Run. They do so much for all our special needs children that we're always so grateful for them. Again, everything that has gone on the last couple of weeks. Today, I had the pleasure of seeing a mural that was made for Mayor Walker's office by the senior citizens. It was amazing. Each one made, a square. And Matt's laughing because it was the unveiling, we couldn't even reach the top. Thank you, Matt. But it was really nice. They were beautiful, squares, and then each one was put together to make this really incredible mural that will be in the office for years to come. And they were so proud. They said they will do others, but now they want to get paid. So a little different, but it was so beautiful. If you ever have a chance, please stop by the office and see it. It's amazing what our seniors do and the programs that they're offered at the senior center. So tomorrow night, hopefully, we'll see everybody out and about. It'll be great. I'm excited. I think my grandchildren are coming, so for me, it's really special. But I just want to wish everyone really a good evening, and the rest of the summer, since we don't meet as often in the summer, everybody please enjoy and be safe. Have a great evening. Thank you very much.
Council President, I just want to say a picture of that mural is on our Facebook page. They each did an individual picture, and they hadn't seen it all put
Right.
together. So we did the unveil, and they were very amazed at how it all fit together and how beautiful it is. And it's really made the office so much livelier.
nice.
And it kind of looks like a farm scene, so it's like reminiscent of the Old Bridge in the old
Days
days.
gone by, yeah.
So it's on our Facebook page.
Yeah, very nice. It really was. Thank you all seniors who did that. It was really great. Thank you. Okay, I need a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn and enter executive session for contract negotiations for Crossroads, potential purchase of property, 403 Ticetown Road, and litigation, LaPresti versus the Township.
Madam President, I just want to add another item to the executive session. It's litigation, Testino versus Township of Old Bridge. Thank you.
All right, so he made a motion, Mr. Asatuli.
Second.
Second by Mr. De Palma.
Roll call, Councilman Asatuli,
Yes.
Councilwoman DeCaro,
Yes.
Councilman De Palma,
Yes.
Councilman Desai, Councilman Garcia,
Yes.
Councilman Pasquini,
Yes.
Council Vice President Dr. Greenberg Belli, Council President Sohar.
Yes.
8 yeses. Executive session 9:07, and we're not coming back.
We won't be returning this evening.
Sir, can I just get